Hey everyone, I tried to find a satin black so that I don't have to use the scale 75 black on my border for the base, because that is obviously it's really matte compared to the rest of the base. I'm not sure it shows properly on the stream, but in reality it's this is really glossy over here. And then as I turn it up here, it's getting really satin, so I'm going to try just one quick thing before I go back to doing the details on the Space Marine, or the last details rather. So for example, I need to do the eyes and all the tubing that's coming from the face mask, and then obviously the, I don't know, let's call them leather parts. Yeah, then I need to glue this on, and we're, yeah, not too far off from being done. Just some small details, like for example up here. I think I want to redo that area just a tiny bit, make it a bit more intense, sort of like this over here, just to have it in line. And then also I need to do the freehands. Gonna start to warm up with a the typical arrow that the Space Marine chapters have when they are, like, I think it's tactical squads. And then over here I'm going to do a bit more of a complicated freehand. I can show you what I plan to do. So I already drew this freehand like 10 years ago on my crude collector, but I really want to redo or do this again on the other yeah, exactly, Kuja. So I'm going to do this one, the fist on this one, and I'm going to warm up with an arrow on this side. Yeah, so let's see how far we get. I just want to, like I said, try mixing the scale color black with some gloss varnish. I don't know if that is going to work, but I just want to gloss up this area up here a tiny bit. And I definitely need to order like a video black maybe, or I'm just going to buy, this is right in, or I'm just going to buy a Games Workshop version. We will see. Both of them should be satin, and just for these little details I definitely want to have a satin black. Okay. Right, I have no idea if this works, so let's just try it. Tiny bit of gloss varnish. Could work the gloss varnish over it, of course. But that might be not working. We will see. I'll try this, and if it doesn't work, then I'll do something else. Don't like scale black very much, it's a bit too matte. I like it for most things, I just don't like it in this case. So this is a very niche application, or yeah, a very niche, how do you call it? Yeah, type of application where it doesn't quite fit, but usually I do like it. UPI can put the link in? Ink in, okay. Yeah, inks make everything a bit more shiny, but also I don't really have a good one. And actually I think this is going to work. Could still be a bit too like you said, gray-ish in appearance, but there's definitely a shine there. It's less matte than the rest. So I just want to create the illusion of this, yeah, more or less being cut off and then put on the base. Hey Sneak, how's it going? So we'll see. Should work. I think it works. Can still make it less glossy if I need to, but it should be in line now with the rest of the base. You finished the emissary. Oh, that's great to hear. Finished pieces are always a good thing. Okay. Okay, let's do two things. First of all, I want to do the leather parts, and then I want to do the black areas in between the armor plates. I haven't worked on these properly. I have started them back here, but I'm not 100% fond of them, so I'm just going to redo parts of them. Yeah, sure, Snick. Best post them in the Discord. I don't really, right now, with all the stuff going on my monitor, I don't really want to open it on stream right now. But you can always post it in the Discord, obviously. So let's see. Hey, Painting Troll. I want some. Wait. Some Games Workshop brown that I don't have here at the moment. So let me just quickly pick them up. Okay, so I was missing the Scrag brown, and I'm also going to use right side for the leather parts. Yeah, I heard that. We had that. Yeah, we noticed that with Piper. He wrote me a PM that this is going on, so I don't know. But thanks for renewing with the All-Star team. Thanks a lot for keeping your support up. Feminine project, oh, products. Okay, yeah, exactly. Hey Mara, how's it going? Uploaded the pics on Discord. Okay, great. I'll check them out later when I'm done streaming. Right, so let's see. What did I say? Oh yeah, we wanted to do the letter parts, and I want them to be somewhat intense. So going to run with a few of the Games Workshop colors, since they are more intense than the Reaper colors in some cases, or at least in the cases of the brown tones. So let's do that quickly. Yeah, I forgot to copy paste some. Oops. God damn it. Yeah, I'm really not good with that. I need a button on my Stream Deck that's spamming it. It's actually a good idea. There we go. I'm building a model the Trovarian way, i.e. without instructions. Wait, I don't remember that. I deny everything. When did I do that? Totally forgot. What was that? Can't be. That was the last thing that I assembled, and that's only 2 pieces. That is only the actual body and the antenna. That wasn't too hard to do. Also, I sculpted it, so I barely remembered how to assemble it. Okay. Let's start off of a mix of those two. Probably leaning more towards the darker side, but we can also redo that with some washes. Oh, the snake ladies. I remember I had some trouble finding out which bodies belonged to which upper bodies belong to the snake bodies. It's just kind of, I mean, the thing is, I want to always, and I always did, assemble all my Games Workshop pieces, you know, a tiny bit different to make them my own. And with the new, well, basically you get models that can only be assembled in one way, otherwise they look weird, and I don't really like that. So I was doing the script for another video where I said I can't really do much without my bits box, but then I kind of realized that's not really true anymore so much, because you can't really customize the new Games Workshop stuff that easy anymore. Oh, hold on. Is this working? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I didn't have the desktop audio on, so it didn't play any alerts. It should be fixed now. I'm still doing tartan on that scarf. Yeah, I thought about it. And I'm probably painting a second one just to do the tartan. Yeah, I gotta find a bit of a pattern, or not a pattern. Gotta find colors that work pretty good with the tartan pattern. We will see. But I definitely want to paint the second one. I only have one more copy, and I wanted to put it, you know, on a plinth.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Christopher Lennox, thanks for joining the Patreon. I hope you do enjoy the content. Definitely check out the PDFs, and there's a couple of videos there also. Thanks a lot for your support. What did I say? Yeah, I need to find colors that work with the tartan, and also the thing is, I really like the, what's it called? It's not a flak vest. It's it has a name that I forgot. But I feel like green fits this really good. I thought about maybe doing it in a camo pattern and then doing the tartan, but that could become busy really fast. So we will see. Typical Scotsman. Yeah, but honestly, I thought about it too.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Oh, okay. Christopher Lennox decided to go the video pledge, so thank you for that. Yeah, I'm aiming for doing 2 PDFs this month. Like I said, the obviously the dual PDF is in the works right now, but that's totally going to be like 30 pages. And me being the perfectionist that I am, it's taking a while, but I'm finishing it this month. And then I also want to do one about this guy. It shouldn't be that long, probably going to be like 10 pages. And then the next one is also going to be about this one, obviously. but there have not been that many PDF releases during the last few months. But that's due to how, well, I didn't really plan to do no PDFs. But the dual entry was a really intense painting project, and it took so long. And then I kind of got fed up after not finishing it for the game stay for the Golden Demon. And then I put it aside, and then I only came back a while after, and that took up a lot of time. Scottish tartan, Austrian tartan. Austrian tartan would probably be like yellow, red, black, something like that. Old monarchy type. I'm not sure. Austrian tartan is not a thing. I don't think so. But you know, maybe Google knows more. As much as I want to do some advertising for this shirt, it's way too hot and I can't find my t-shirt. So I'm going to switch out my... well, actually, maybe we just open a window. Since it's so cold outside and there's no kids this time of the month, or this time of the year rather, we should be fine. Okay, so I think I like the brown. Some people said I should do the belt thing and a letter too, but actually, yeah, maybe we'll just do the shortcut. One thing that I was wondering, would they actually use letter in the 41st millennium? Or is it 42nd? Probably not, but let's just take the shortcut and do letter 2. Hallstatt mines dating back to the 600, really? Okay. But, I mean, back then, that wasn't really Austria. That was more like... that was probably barbarians. You know, how do you say it? Like Germans, Germanic tribes. If it wasn't Roman, then it was definitely was Germanic. Austria has not really been a thing up until the maybe 11th century. For some reason at events people play bagpipes here. I blame you. Suddenly all the children start to scream. There's actually children outside. Can you hear them? How is it not too dark outside and not too... God damn it. Telling a story as well. Blaming me is a safe bet. Not many countries are what they were. 7 countries in the UK. Yeah, I just mean, you know, the distinguishing or Austria being a distinct entity from what is now Germany. I don't think that happened before the 11th century. I could be wrong, but that's something like that. Before it was just Germanic tribes, really. Okay, let's do purity seal in another color too. One thing that I thought I might want to do in the future, or in the near future, maybe when I do the Crimson Fist Marine that I want to do, hopefully from the new box, I need to bomb like 1 or 2 sergeants or something like that out of my local Games Workshop store. I don't want to buy that full battle box. What is it? Battle Force. But I want to do all the purity seals. Where was it actually? I saw an artwork that I wanted to do with a lot of custom purity seals. Oh yeah, and they also had skulls on top. But then again, that was an Imperial Fist from maybe the 41st century type thing. So I don't know if it's going to fit with Imperial Fist, not Crimson Fist. Too many fists in this galaxy. But we'll see. It's definitely going to be fun to do that conversion. Almost a tiny bit like a Chaos Space Marine. But just going crazy with the tiny details. Like purity seals and all that. Okay, let's start with some edges. Hey Pete Rod, what medium do I prefer for glazes? This one. I just use water. There's no need to use any medium. I guess if you're starting out, you can try what is it? Whatever Miniac is using in his video. That seemed to be good for coverage and yeah, breaking up surface tension and all that, but you don't really need it. You can just use water. I only use water ever since since more than 15 years. And it's totally fine. Let's see. I don't want to get too light too quickly. And here I'm just going to highlight some edges. There used to be one country before the continents broke apart. A purity seal means it's a good feminine product. I see. Okay, well, I feel like this is hard to tell, but trust me, we are definitely highlighting this area. I just, like I said, want to go slow. I also definitely need another background. This one is just simply too black, too dark. Need more of a gray, neutral gray. There's flow aid in that cup that he drinks, and he drinks it to become one of the paint. Actually, I had a cup here with water. Oh, it's not here. So now the demonstration is kind of failed, or did kind of fail. But yeah, the only flow aid I ever use is dish soap, and I don't remember the last time I did actually use it. I'm trying to think of a reason to use glaze medium, but to be honest, none of the better painters that I know, none of them use any glaze mediums. it's, you know, people like to talk about this stuff because it makes for good content, because people want to believe that you need these products, but you don't. You just use water and paint and that's it. And yeah, I mean, maybe, like I said, the video that Miniac did, it kind of looks better, but I couldn't replicate that. I didn't feel the difference from just water to using a glaze medium. And trust me, I tried it extensively. It's just money that you can spend otherwise. And I think, or I feel like, the less you have to play around with mediums and additives to your paint and all that, the more fun you have with painting too. Because otherwise it almost feels like having to prepare a technical paint every time you give it a go. And yeah, for me that's the same as using an airbrush. For a lot of things you have to clean it and so on, and here I just do whatever I want with the paint. All I have to clean is my brush and so on. I don't use any mediums either, they're a hassle. I have a really nice flow aid, but it turns everything gloss. Okay, yeah, that could also be, of course, a thing, that the properties change and the finish changes. Even Duncan uses just water. Holy crap. I mean, Duncan obviously is popular. And it depends what you want to achieve. But Duncan, I mean, at least for the videos that he does, is also not really the end all for miniature painting. I find glaze medium uses very situational. I find glaze medium uses very situational in my painting commissions. Oh, glaze medium uses. Okay, you find uses for glaze medium. I got it now. Yeah, again, so there's the difference when you are just trying to do things quickly, then obviously that's going to change everything. But if you know, I am not really painting under a certain standard. Even with these things, I try to get the best result possible. But you will totally hear different things from painters that are just trying to do a lot of actually, yeah, I probably should paint that yellow here, honestly. Even though it looks okay, but I think I'll just do it yellow because of the way it integrates with the belt buckle in the front. Yeah, okay. But we'll do that later. Hey Droxer. If Duncan only uses water at the end. Let's see, let's find a highlight color. I put some drops of Surficant in my wet palette, and I also use drying retardant because I live in Australia. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? When your painting water has weird properties, and if you're living in a hot climate, then obviously you kind of need to make sure that your paint doesn't just constantly dry in. I feel like that's very niche and limited to certain areas of the world. I'm not here to face spiders, okay. As you said, water is just fine. Never tap water. Yeah, I guess, I mean, it depends. I use just tap water, but my water is also really pure, so I don't have the experience with really hard water. A lot of, yeah, just in Austria we get water straight from the glaciers, in Vienna at least, so I never had any problem with that. But again, there's only very situational and very limited areas where I feel like you couldn't just use the tap water. I use tap water. Yeah, me too. Also, I use acrylic medium because it thins the paint without changing the viscosity, which is nice. Yeah, exactly. So the less additives you use, the purer your paint is, and the less the it changes its behavior. Okay, let's go for. I definitely want to paint down here, so I need to adjust the focus a tiny bit. I really need a 4K camera. The scaling is really bad on my camera here. I'm tempted to take some to the Philippines with the heat. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Definitely let us know how that is going. Yeah, that's a good point too. If it's dry heat, then that's also different from humid heat. Probably don't even need a wet palette over there. Okay, I think I'm going to just keep this part rather dark. Some edges maybe, so that also over here we have some dark areas next to, yeah, rather light areas. I'm just going to clean up some areas here. I do feel humid there, but to be honest, I looked like I had a shower on the head most of the time. I think I would just get rid of all my hair in that case. I probably could not stand that. So, when I do like the approach with the skin color here. Oh, you can't actually see that, god damn it. Yeah, so that was my first highlight color. And I'm just going to add another highlight, but that's not really yellow enough, so let's take some of that ice yellow too and add that to the mix. Somewhere here in between. I'm in a desert area of USA where pelt is required. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be interesting when Painting Troll goes to the Philippines, if he needs a palette or not, whether or not he needs a palette. A wet palette, that is. The humidity. feel like I would probably do this darker. Or I should do this darker overall because it's more in the shadow compared to this one. So I'll definitely go back on that one. Are you going to enter a piece to the Golden Demon next year? Well, so I'm probably going to the German one for sure. I don't know yet if I'm going to go to the UK one. I want to go. Depends a bit if I have extra income to spare. I mean, I even let's see, where is it? I even made a goal. Too much stuff here. I even made a donation goal for Warhammer Fest UK. So I don't really know if I'm going to have the expendable money. But I wanted to go, but we will see. I definitely have some pieces ready. Or almost ready. It's just I'm not really sure that they are Games Workshop-ish enough. So yeah, we will see. I did too much artsy stuff on them. They're definitely not what the judges are looking for. Speaking about that, I did contact the head judge of the jury that is judging all Golden Demons at the moment, and I asked him if he would do an interview about these things, and he said yeah, he would do it if it was just his decision, but he needs to talk to his higher ups at Games Workshop, and he's going to come back to me. So that's going to hopefully be interesting if it happens. So I'm kind of glad I waited with that video. If it goes through, then we're going to be a bit smarter, and it's totally also going to be on this channel, so or on my YouTube channel. Do I see blue tones in your highlights of black? Yeah. What blue am I using? I'm just using an how would you call it? Hold on a second. How do you call it? It's not ultramarine blue, it is blah 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 marine blue. What's the word that I'm looking for? Yeah, I don't know. But it's the one that I'm using is dark sea blue. But you can use any blue that has this slight marine tone that I'm at the moment that's not coming to me, but I'll think about it, and I'm going to say it once I find it in my brains again. No one knows when Warhammer Fest is. Could be 2020 at this rate. Yeah, I mean, that's also really infuriating because they haven't told us yet which miniature is going to be the one that you just have to paint for that one category where you're not allowed to do any conversions. Calder blue, no, I'm not thinking about any color in particular. Also, I don't know any Games Workshop colors other than the 5/6 that I'm using. It's a blue tone that I'm... Wait, let's see, can we Google that somehow? Names. It's not ultramarine, there is some... It's a form of teal. I feel like an idiot at the moment. I don't know why I can't remember the word. But it's a form of teal, it's just darker. I mean, Prussian blue is maybe the closest one. Maybe that word doesn't even exist in English, but I also can't think about the German one at the moment. Shades of Blue Color Names, okay, that's a sweet book, but okay, they call it Midnight Blue. Ooh, yeah, I can't think of it right now. But that's a color tone that really works for shadows. And in this case, I really like it for highlighting black because, I don't know, I can't really explain it on a color theory basis. I'm also not a big fan of color theory. It's just an interaction that works pretty good. Oh, aquamarine blue, exactly. I think that's it. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Is that a word in English? Aquamarine? But that's exactly the word I was thinking about. Yeah. Okay, it says is a light bluish tint of green that is in between cyan and spring green on the color wheel. Okay. But yeah, aquamarine is exactly the color. So I would say this is a good representation. Let's see if that shows. Yeah, so something like that can be a bit darker. Yeah, so it looks roughly like that. Any blue like that. Name all the blues. Aquamarine is a gemstone. Oh yeah, exactly, of course. Yeah, I'm an idiot, guys, sometimes. Oh, hello. No, wrong. I have all these fancy buttons and I still click on my window. Right. Let's continue just highlighting these little parts. Also, I want to highlight, obviously, the purity seals. I don't want to spend too much time, especially the purity seal. I'm just going to not spend too much time on it. Actually looks good if you just drag your brush like that. Sorry for the beeping, it's going to go away. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so that just looks like old battered paper. Do scale colors have a color like that? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Do you remember the problem that I had with when I was doing the shield? I think it was when I was doing the shield. To get just a blue color, they all have a bit of a teal tint, but they don't really have that that exact tint. I mean, remind me, at me in Discord, and I'm going to look it up. I don't want to stand up and spend too much time looking for it right now, but remind me on Discord. I'm going to look it up for you. There might be one that is coming close, but I could be hallucinating at this point. When you said dark, I was thinking like a Charleston green. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not really a color theory expert. I also feel like it doesn't add that much to your painting. Obviously, there's going to be people that disagree, but most of the time you just overthink color theory, and it doesn't even look that good in the end on the miniature. It's better sometimes to just do what looks good by intuition and not really care too much about does it make sense on a color theory basis. I was thinking Caspian. Yeah, Caspian blue might be it. Cantabric. Do you mean Caribbean blue? Caribbean blue? Caspian blue could work, but it's a tiny bit on the bright side. But I'll look it up. I'm going to tell you. It could be Caspian blue, but I'm not 100% sure. The problem is I don't really remember color names for some reason. It's probably because I picked them because of how they appear anyway, so I'm not really remembering them by name. Also, I'm going to do a video on that, that I feel like painting is just another form of problem solving, and especially learning how to paint. So hopefully that's going to be interesting, and that's also maybe a bit of an insight into how I do paint. And I mean, honestly, I think it's probably infuriating to follow my painting sometimes, but honestly I would recommend to just do what I do, as far as, you know, just not really getting too stuck in recipes. I mean, honestly, I think I can probably use like 3 or 4 different color combinations for this, what I'm doing right now, and I probably have in the past. So I just know what I want as a result, which is a bit of a saturated brown, going into desaturated scratches. And what colors can I use for that? I just, you know, take whatever I have on the table and I just put it down, and I don't have to think too much about it. And in the end, honestly, that's what you want to achieve. Because, I mean, sure, it's nice to have, when you're a beginner, it's nice to have recipes and all that, but eventually you want to not have to think too much about what to put on the palette and so on. And of course, it's fine if you want to keep recipes and lists of your paint and all that. It's perfectly fine. To me, it's just too much. How would you call it? like managing your paints that's time and effort that I don't want to invest. Okay, let's see, put a bit of texture here. What does saturated mean when it's referred to as a color like saturated brown? I would call this saturated. So this is saturated in my opinion. And once you start adding like more beige tones, so like that, I would call this desaturated. Because whenever you mix in white and black, I want to say, you get desaturated colors. I think knowing theories around black is good to know for miniatures. Yeah, I'm pretty sure of that. Honestly, I never bothered to, but you know, everything that you do know beyond just basic things like how to do glazes and layering and all that, it's going to probably help you. I'm not denying that. I just personally feel like I don't need it. Duncan sells recipes, sells their paints, not intuitive painting. Yeah, exactly, but that's the thing, right? Games Workshop color recipes obviously are there to sell you their colors, and I mean, yeah, why wouldn't you do it? It's just marketing, but it doesn't make you a better painter in the end. It just tells you how to use their paints, and obviously they want to sell as many paints as possible. Hold on, give me a second. Oops, sorry for that. My house is burning down. No, it's not. Oh, look at that. I just received my latest order. Oh, I really like it. I only had it in gray. I thought it was time to try the blue approach. Let's see, do we have does this work? Oh, it does. I really like it in that. With the blue, it also shows that accent of a lighter blue. And no, where is it? Over here. Yeah, so it just shows that line way better. I really like the blue one. It just arrived. That was also funny. Just when I was complaining I can't find my other one. Let's see. Oh, let's press buttons. Boom. Saturated the richness and boldness of the color. White desaturates. Yeah, I think so. Desaturation is a reduction in the vibrancy of color. Okay, let's you know, discuss all this. But it doesn't matter in the end. Mixing in white kind of makes it less bold or less of the actual color, but it takes away color and adds just whiteness, if that makes sense. It's, I don't know, you can call it whatever you want. It's just the result that's interesting here, and it's not really that rich brown anymore. It's more of a white, and it becomes a white dark contrast or a light dark contrast at that point, which is why I want to have that, and that's what I'm trying to achieve. So I thought it's an Overwatch League shirt. Yeah, but they have gray and orange and white in the middle, or is it some combination of that? Which also looks good, by the way. Maybe I need to mimic that with the next batch. Okay. So, like I said, I want to keep this darker, but I'm also going to add these slight scratches. I think you can see that. You can really see the color accent on the right nipple. Oh my god. Let's not go there. And Raphael brushes are working well so far. I did not expect anything else, honestly. Let's do this. Okay, so Wikipedia says, where is it? So saturation is how much a color is different from an achromatic color and how intense it is. So this is desaturation towards gray, and this is desaturation towards white. So I would definitely say if you take this as a brown tone and you mix in white, then it's being desaturated. So I'm not sure what we were discussing about, but that's my definition, or that's how I understand the definition of saturation. Just to go back to that. Do they come in men's? Oh my god. Does the shirt come in women's for me to wear? Oh my, okay. I almost thought you were trying to insult me. Yeah, if you check out, you can you can go below the stream. There is the link to my Teespring, and they come in all different kinds of, they come in t-shirts, in women's shirts, in hoodies, and yeah, I think there's mugs. There's a few different manifestations of this t-shirt, or of this logo. Me insult you? Wow, never. I'm not sure about that. Even Painting Troll understood it that way. But you know, I don't mean it like insulting, it's more like banter, right? At least that's how I understand it. Okay, so there's not much going on here. It's just dark brown with these light beige accents, but I feel like that looks pretty good. So maybe we'll just do a few scratches also over here, just to top it off, and then have a few like yeah, more wear and tear in general. There's this one guy that perfectioned, or that did this to perfection, where he just did like black and then gray lines like that all over. I don't know, I just saw it on Instagram again the other day. He had some purple bases for his black Space Marines, and even though there wasn't really much blending going on, it looked pretty good. Okay, just intensifying the outermost edges, so here and up here, and also maybe this. Okay, then let's do the same on this side. Just trying to mix up the position and direction. Also the length, and then maybe here we don't have lines but rather dots, just to mix it up. Like I said, I don't really believe they would be using leather for these, but you know, it's also of course still an option to paint it like that. Then 1 or 2 dots here and there. Right, I think I like that. I heard my name. Should I worry? I should always worry when you hear your name. I have been known to tease people. Yeah, I figured as much. Okay, so what should be next? I think yeah, since we are redoing this, I don't need to highlight the belt anymore. Definitely going to just do that. Redo that yellow, probably off stream since we already covered the yellow so much, and finish the black parts. So for example, the tubing on the face, I'm definitely just going to try and do the tubing like I did it over here, just on a smaller scale. We'll see how that looks. What do you do when you have a block about painting even though you have clients waiting for the stuff? So I don't really have clients. As far as I don't do commission painting. I mean, I guess you could call Patreon a bit similar. One thing that I do when I feel like when I feel like I need to produce content, but I don't want to just spend too much time on one figure, is I have a second one, I have a backup one. So in this case, for example, I was working on those two. Well, I mean, the thing is, I should have probably just pushed for finishing this one so that I have the video ready on YouTube when the actual box comes out. But I mean, I also had to do, I somewhat had to do this one since it's the box art for my new release. So I just took these two and worked on and off. So my general advice is to have a few, you know, I don't know how it is with a commission when you have a client, if you have that much variation, but try to pick something from that batch that is way different from this. But honestly, I'm just glad that I don't have to do batch painting, because I was trying to paint on commission, or on commission, do you say it like that? Like years ago, and I instantly realized it's not my thing. And he wanted me to paint 26 Imperial Guard, you know, Demon Hunter Imperial Guard, and I just couldn't finish it. So I'm glad I don't have to do commissions, because I couldn't do it, especially if the quality isn't showcase. I don't really want to do that, because I mean, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of people that will paint your stuff in tabletop quality, and I didn't do all the research and all that to just do tabletop quality. Does that make sense? I always tried to push my painting, and you don't really need me to paint your army, unless of course you want your army to be the highest possible standard. But even then, I'd probably not do it, because am I going to paint a second Imperial Fist after this? Probably not as quickly as, you know, within the next year, probably not. So I'm just glad I don't have to do commissions. And I totally understand that you would probably, if you have to do the same thing over and over, probably have a bit of a painter's block. But like I said, I just try to mix up what I'm painting at the moment. And I always have 2 projects at the same time that I can alternate between. That has helped me a lot. Okay, so now this is just dark. But we will totally work on the highlights again. Thought about maybe doing the tubing black and these parts yellow again, but I think I'm just going to do everything in black. That might just be too much hassle to get these areas in the front here yellow again, on top of something that was already brown. I have that issue. Are you doing commission painting, Kujo? I honestly don't know. But yeah, when I'm doing Patreon stuff, I try to work on 2 projects too, so that I can alternate between them. I mean, sometimes I do too much at once, and then the Patreon content will lag behind a bit. Then I just need to refocus and pull through. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't really have a painter's block for long. Back in 2009, I want to say. I stopped painting for about 3 years because I was too stuck in the mindset of having to compete, like in the Golden Demons, and you know, because I was kind of successful back then, and I felt like, okay, pressure is on, I have to always do the next best thing, or do better in the next competition and so on. And eventually I really lost the drive to compete or to draw, to paint at all. So I'm trying to stay away from stuff that is too competitive, or environments where, you know, you get forced into being competitive. Where's my white again? I mean, I have some white here, but I want some in between color. Let's see if empiric highlight could be a good thing. Yeah, that works. But I'm trying to scale it back so I can focus on doing more of my own stuff. I see. Yeah, also, when I would be doing commissions, I'm not sure if that would be good for the videos, for the video content that I have to do. So if there's like not really new stuff in that commission batch, then obviously people would be bored by the videos, if that makes sense. So I'm kind of glad I can do the thing that or the things that I find interesting and that I find have educational value. And again, I feel like if I did commissions, I would probably lose interest in painting again, which I don't want to. So I don't want to burn myself out on other people's yeah, miniatures. Okay, so I think you can see that yeah, that this area gets brighter again. So there's like one ring here. Can you see that at all? It's really hard to see. Second ring. And this is where a good brush tip comes in, also a good reservoir in combination with a good brush tip. Saves you so much trouble, because you have the benefit of a good brush tip combined with a reservoir that, you know, enables you to paint a lot of brush strokes without having to dip in to the paint again too quickly. Are you welcome, Konaman? It's probably not helping all that much. I guess the tip with alternating between things that aren't too similar is probably a good tip still. But I don't feel like I gave you too much good advice other than that. So sorry for that. Judges are just people who walk into the store. Oh wait. Oh, my painting contest miniature isn't doing well. Then again, neither are the other well painted miniatures. The judges are just people who walk into the store, and I didn't paint a flashy enough thing. Yeah, that's... I've been talking to a friend yesterday. And I've been saying there is a lot of people who are not really interested enough in painting to be able to know apart, you know, one paint job from the other and which one is quote unquote better, and you know, if we're just saying technically better. So I mean, being able to tell smooth surfaces and smooth results from just, you know, quote unquote just dry brushed gradients, there's a few people that really can't tell, and they're obviously not interested enough, which is fine, you know, but making people like that judge or doing a contest like that, I feel like, does that really award the best painter? Which, you know, best painter should get the award obviously, but probably the best painter is not going to get the award like that, because there's, like I said, just too many people that are not all that interested and don't want to spend that much time looking at miniatures, and they're just drawn into whatever catches the eye, which, you know, kind of is human nature, but it's also sucks in a way, of course. But there's generally just people that really they can't tell colors apart. I mean, and we're not really talking about color blindness. And stuff like that. And yeah, it's just weird when for you it's clear which one is the better technical approach, and then they're just like, no, I like that one better. For whatever reason. It happens, yeah, exactly. You know, like I said. So yeah, I need to make a post somewhere about it, but the plan with streaming is to have a schedule, and even if the schedule is only once per month at the moment, I will be streaming every Monday from now on at this time. So I'm starting at 1600, which is 4 p.m. Central European time. I'll try to go for 4 hours, and everyone's welcome to ask questions. If not, I'm just going to be rambling incoherently, like now. But yeah, the plan is to do a stream on Monday and to release a video every second Friday. So this Friday I'm going to try to finish this video, or the Eavier than Meta video, and I can't, you know, promise that it's always going to be super long, super intense video. Sometimes it's just going to be a small technique video, or for example, patrons have been asking for a video on chalkiness, how to avoid it and what is it exactly. So, you know, maybe a small technique video like that is going to pop up, but I just want to have a schedule, and a more predictable schedule at that. So I'm starting small again. Okay. With once per month, once per week, and twice per month video content wise, and obviously all the other content is still going to be on Patreon. There's not going to be any change about that.
I'm not surprised, motherfucker.
Pills Infector, thanks a lot for joining the Major League. Welcome to the community. Hey Gray, Russia, how's it going? Then you get people who vote on a mob because they're friends. Yeah, obviously. And that's called Crystal Brush then, you know. But you will never be able to get rid of that. Okay, so I don't want to do too many midtones. I think that's where I want to start. I'm going to be going up to almost white now. And I'm going to apply the color more selectively. Yeah, I feel like that's maybe too bright already. Going to show you what I mean in a second. Hey Mad Goat, you finally get me online? Yeah, like I said, the plan is to stream once a week on Monday during this time. It's just unrealistic to do more with the workload that I have and the new job I had to take, because
I'm not surprised,
the
motherfucker.
Patreon is not really where I want it to be yet. So until it is, I have to work a job again. But yeah, I'll keep doing content, and eventually more and more people are going to find it. I still think if the visibility would be better, I would have a lot more subscribers on YouTube too, and so on. But people are just going to gradually find my stuff, and what can you do? Start ECV. Thanks for joining the Major League. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the community. But yeah, it's just unrealistic to do more than that at the moment, while still, having family and significant other time.
I'm I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Nako, MUFC, thanks for joining the Major League. Welcome to the community. Crystal Brush is pretty bad for that. Yeah, exactly. It's just, there's a lot of, who has the biggest community definitely has a good chance to win. But then also I don't really know what, you know, the judges' influence and how much the relation is between the judge's decision and the public decision. Oh my god. Just thinking what game to get into Age of Sigma or 40k first. So I don't really know that much about the game aspect itself. Hold on. Okay, so that's the lightest highlight that I want to do. Do that over here. Just on the tip of this highlight too. I mean, maybe people can give their opinions, what they prefer. But personally, like I said, I don't really game. I'm definitely going to start. Heal team, because you only need a handful of models there. Honestly, I'd probably just start whatever miniatures I find more attractive or more appealing. In my case, it's definitely 40k. I mean, don't get me wrong, I also like the fantasy stuff, but I have always been more a fan of science fiction. For me, that will be a giant deciding factor. Okay, that looks weird. I want to tone that down again. Okay, I think that looks good enough. Just maybe a tiny bit lighter. Hey Flickster. Progress looks great, thank you. I totally need to do a shout out thing for Cujo. But since he is on YouTube only, I can't use my regular shout out thing. But yeah, check out Flickster, guys. If you don't know him, he's also a streamer here on Twitch. I think Crystal Brush is slightly fairer than Golden Demon. Though as in Crystal Brush, they're not going to be influenced into selecting pieces that are going to be more useful at marketing tool. Yeah, but you are aware that Cool Mini or Not is a company that sells figures, right? And there was, back when Jeremy Bonnemont, is he still called Bragan? I don't know. Was winning with an unpainted backside. He was just releasing the painting guide on Cool Mini or Not, or his painting guide, which is, you know, it's a good painting guide, but I'm just saying there were better things there at Crystal Brush, so I am not quite sure that that is not a factor with Crystal Brush. Also, yeah, just, you know, everything, once you are moving into money prices, everything just kind of gets weird and has this weird vibe of, you know, people being super competitive towards each other. I mean, it's the same with Golden Demons, really, but then again, I feel like there's a lot of people who, you know, obviously want to win a Golden Demon, but there's so many people that already won Golden Demons that it's just a get together. That's at a certain point, you know. At least with the people that I meet usually at Golden Demons. So for me, while obviously I want to win, the factor of just seeing people again and talking to people that I haven't seen for a while, at least this year in Düsseldorf, it definitely had that factor for me too. What brushes do I prefer? I do prefer Raphael 8404. Let's see, do I have one that hasn't completely lost? Yeah, here you can see it. Well, barely. This is better. Okay, this might be the best one. Raphael 8404. And I usually use size 1 and 0. I do have, lately I've been using this Winsor & Newton brush. Obviously these are also good brushes, but they're good brushes too. But I prefer the Raphael brushes 100%. Only issue with Crystal Brush is the popularity contest public voting. Yeah, we just talked about that. Okay. So let's go over that again. With that in-between color. Didn't quite hit the areas I wanted to hit last time here. So let's see, maybe I'm going to make this darker. 8400. There's probably nothing wrong with getting the 8400, but you know, I never used them, so I can't really say whether or not they're better. And I don't have an issue with these, so I'm going to recommend the 8404. You're just trying to be special, Meryl. Admit it. No, but honestly, you can explain why you prefer the 8400. So, you know, that people can make up their own mind. Who's entering Cool Minion figures into Crystal Brush? No, it's not that, but like I said, they're pretty basic models. Yeah, but they are selling, for example, that was just an example. They were selling Jeremy's painting guide, and obviously if he wins the Crystal Brush, then people are going to try to find out how he is, how he's doing it. How is these guys good? And there you have it. And Cool Mignonot back in the day was advertising his stuff pretty hard. This is why I avoid competitions best I can. I'm entering into a miniature Crystal Brush as a bet with genuine, but not with any concept of winning. Yeah, but you know, just going to being able to go to Adepticon is going to be a big boost for everything you do. And having a miniature entered there, even if it doesn't place, is also going to put your name out there. If it's in the public voting, then it's on the internet and so on, you know. I would give an arm and a leg if I could go to Adepticon, because it's just going to be so much popularity. Okay, maybe a leg, maybe not an arm. Could be hard to hold miniatures that way. Hey Ebons, how are you doing? I might differ in your area about the age of Sigma community. Oh, it might differ in your area, but the age of Sigma community also tends to be more chill. Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Hey Sifu, I love the Raphael. Started using it after watching your stream. Oh, that's good. I'm glad. You know. So there is a couple of good brushes out there, but with Raphael you can't go wrong, and especially if you enjoy my style of painting, which is, you know, I don't want to be constantly dipping the brush into the paint on the palette, then yeah, because it just combines the reservoir with the good brush tip. And honestly, why would you want any other brush if you can have this? But yeah, I'm glad you enjoy using the Raphaels. I need to get some form of cooperation going, maybe just, and I don't mean like something where I can make money off, but just something if they can use a code or something, if people can use a code to get some discount on some location that sells Raphael brushes. I need to make write a few emails there, I think. Also, like I said, hopefully, I also don't know how to pronounce his name, Max Falage, probably slaughtered that name. So the head judge of the Golden Demons is hopefully going to give me an interview about what they are looking for as a jury on the Golden Demons, like I said. So, but he still has to ask a few people about whether or not that is okay. But I'm totally looking forward to that video. So if you haven't, make sure to follow on YouTube and turn on the notifications so you see when that video goes live. Hobnobbing with people big in the community will help you too. Yeah, but I'm not really. Oh, you mean at Adepticon? Yeah, definitely. So, you know, just be friends with everyone. Helps a lot. The 8400 gives you more control compared to the 8404, but it also has less paint capacity and is a bit more delicate. So they're slimmer in total. They're the same length, but just slimmer with a smaller belly. I see, I see. Looking forward to Christmas holidays to get some painting time. I totally understand what you mean. Personally, I'm probably going to have less painting time because I am going to travel a bit for Christmas. So I'm trying to finish all the content that I can before Christmas. And then maybe do one more video afterwards. Right, so yeah, we're totally playing on just contrast. Not 100% happy with the smoothness here, but then again, I mustn't forget that I said I don't want to spend more than 20 hours on this. And I think we're pretty close already. Still have about like 4 hours, I want to say. I think that's enough to finish everything. Let's see. One thing that I haven't done is, I know I'm jumping around a bit, but before I finish the black, I just want to do the purity seal, the what's it called? Oh my god, I'm so bad. The top of the purity seal that holds it together. The wax part. The same thickness, but the 8400 has shorter bristles and better points. Okay. I have not tried Rosemary and Co. I heard mixed things. There's a lot of people that swear by them. There's some people that didn't like them. So personally, I would say 2 factors that make a good brush for miniature painting. Does the brush have a good belly? So if it's a size, this is a size 0, obviously this is a size 1, they are about the same size. So this is a size 1 Winsor & Newton and this is a size 0 Raphael. So I wouldn't go much lower than this, and this is about, yeah, it's a bit more than a centimeter probably. Let's see. Yeah, just over a centimeter in length. I wouldn't go any smaller than this for a brush. And the factors that I'm looking at is, does it has a reservoir? Will it store some paint? And how good is the brush tip? Unfortunately, you will only know how good the brush tip is after using it a bit. But I'd say, you know, just get one and try to paint with it. Or get one if it has these 2 properties, if they look good. To start with, you know, because obviously some brushes are not really having a good tip from the get-go. But yeah, if you have these 2 features, or if the brush has these 2 features, then just try it, and the rest can only be told after using it for a while. Hey Morph. Wait, which did we? 50-50 with whether people like them or not. James is a nice guy and generally wants to make good products. The issues, the marketing that went on around them. Are we talking about Artist Opus? Lots of hype about the Artist Opus brushes, but I'd say they're one to avoid. Yeah, so that's a problem that I have too, because he really is a nice guy, but the brushes just don't seem to be where they seem to split. So, you know, talking to like 10 people that used them, 8 of them told me, or in that ballpark, told me that they split pretty fast after using them for a while. So I'm trying to avoid them, honestly, which, you know, is kind of sad, because like Painting Troll said, he really is a nice guy and wants to have a good product, but it's probably just didn't work out, and the marketing was horrible. Ah, shit.
Kannst du zumachen? Wir kommen mit hin.
I just broke my hand. Siehst du das?
Oh, ich will wirklich bitte. Mach was.
Ay.
Is er weer?
Ja.
En is er niet kwijt?
No. That hurt a bit. Yeah, the marketing just was, I don't know, I mean, I can't shake the picture of Richard Gray just looking at his miniature like that. Wait, like that. Now I'm pooping rainbows while painting. The belly's really small and there's no real snap to them. They're really soft and floppy, and they cost too much, 100%. This is why a lot of people believe there were Rosemary and Co brushes were similar. Also the brushes James uses, but the Artist Opus brush are Rosemary and Co. So I think, at least that's what I heard from people close to him. They are actually, he worked with, oh my god, my hand is falling apart.
Was ist denn? Was?
Nix.
Spielst es nicht?
Ja. Entschuldigung. Ich
Passt
just
irgendwas?
hurts. Nein.
Okay.
Blood transfusion. So from people around him, I heard that he was working with Da Vinci. They're not really Da Vinci brushes, but he was working with them. Oh wait, I did want to paint that red before I obliterated my hand. Yeah, so he was working with Da Vinci. Again, they're not Da Vinci brushes, but he was working with them. Or not rebranded Da Vinci brushes, but he was working with them, trying to get a good product done. But apparently there has been some problem with splitting, and you can't deny that. I will give the 8404 a try. Take that, Mero, take that. Lady Varian is a cruel mistress. Are you?
Was?
No, she's not.
Was bin ich?
She was just asking if everything is alright. Wow, you can't really see that it's red. Just have to believe me, I guess. Hand transplant. Yeah, just like a hook. So one of the Perry brothers, are they still? I don't think they're still sculpting for Games Workshop, but they used to, I think. One of the Perry brothers lost a hand in just trying to fire a cannon in a reenactment of the Civil War, I want to say, or just war reenactment, and it was his sculpting hand. So I think he was left-handed, and he lost the left hand, and it was his sculpting hand. So what he did was he got something to be able to hold, something like that as a replacement, as a prosthetic, and then he just taught himself how to sculpt with the other hand, with his weaker hand. Paint red with the hand blood. The reason I wasn't sure they were Da Vinci was because he said to me they were made in the UK. Where's Da Vinci made? Are they made in the UK? I don't know that detail. Right, so I don't want to spend that much time, but just one highlight would probably be good. Germany? Oh, that could be.
I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
The legendary Bubai, thanks for joining the Major League. Welcome to the community. Could be in Germany. Let's see. Let's see. Oh yeah, there it says made in Germany. Yeah, but in the end, only he knows. So, could be whatever. The crux of the thing is that they are unfortunately not among the top 3 brushes that I would be using. So personally, like I said, I really like the Raphael brushes. They are the best brushes on the market in my opinion, both from reliability and durability and overall shape. then I can definitely, so far all the Winsor Newton brushes I had were okay. There have been mixed reports about them lately, but they are definitely good brushes. They're just a bit tinier, a bit smaller than the Raphael brushes, which isn't always helping. And then I would totally recommend the broken tilt brushes. Why is this one so hard? Huh. Yeah, they have a good snap. Not as good as the Raphael ones, but yeah, broken toner is definitely good. At least the ones that I was using. I still need to make that video that I promised him. What did I do there? Oh right, that was some paint in there. My favorite one is the Element Games brush, sort of a happy medium between Raphael and Winsor Newton. Great snap, really good for stippling. Wait, I remember that happening. There was an article about it, about what, in White Dwarf, when it happened. Surprises me that there's a different, as James is similarly partnered with Element Games, like any Waddle is with his airbrushes in Element Games. Wow. Yeah, but the airbrushes, I mean, it's just, the airbrushes are just a rebrand with a bigger trigger. I really don't know what's going on there. Broken tilt for small bits, they aren't great for larger areas to me. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I didn't have many problems really. The only thing is that they don't, the snap is a bit worse, you can see it. So on larger areas, yeah, that a good snap definitely helps. But if you can get any of the other ones, the broken tilt ones are also good. The I haven't been using this one, the larger one, extensively, but the smaller one definitely was good enough. Honestly, there are so many brushes out there, and it's like a lottery if you get a good one or a bad one in the same line. Yeah, and I have honestly not had a bad Raphael brush. That's one thing I have to add. But it is totally true that you can have a bad one with in every line. Brushes are handmade, so there's always a chance of duff brush due to human error. Okay. Just want to carefully bring these back up after I wash them with some black to make them smoother again. I think we can go directly into almost white. It's good to have good quality control in my experience. Yeah, I don't know these. But these are really expensive, aren't they? So they better have good quality control. But yeah, I mean so just investing once into good brushes is definitely better than having or that spending the same amount of money on bad brushes because you have to replace them all the time. Because in the end you have a great result. Yeah, and it's less of a hassle to, you know, paint with the better or the worse quality ones. I've been painting with Games Workshop brushes on the presentation, or not presentation, the reopening of my local store, and obviously the boss from Germany said, yeah, you guys should be using Games Workshop brushes instead of the ones you have. And I really, yeah, they are just really, really bad brushes. I don't know why they, I mean, I guess, you know, bad brushes are the same thing like drying out paint pots. It makes the people come back. So yeah, but these brushes are really horrible. The Artificer was also not really good. They gave us both a regular brush and an Artificer. I should have bagged those, honestly. I left them there, but I should have bagged them for a brush review. But then again, since Miniac already made a brush review video, it's kind of useless to do another one because I would probably just say the same thing. Okay, is there any, oh yeah, down here maybe. So just finish the rest of the black areas. Hey Tap. Brushes are good price, but they could be thicker barrels. Oh really? Is Kirill using synthetics? I don't think so. At least he gave us Kolinsky sable brushes when I was visiting his workshop. Don't know why that doesn't work. This might be something I might want to finish off cam, just to not screw up the detailing. Yeah, I won't do that. Okay, so what else do we need to do? The eyes and, oh yeah, the freehand, of course. Let's see. Like I said, I'm going to start over here. With the arrow. Yeah, some kind of Russian brush. I have, it's not the one, he doesn't use these, I think, because they are cheap, but he definitely uses Russian brushes. So this is the one he gave us. But he uses, like I said, some form of more expensive Russian brush. Buy cheap, buy twice. That's true. The ones he was using to paint the Highlander brush. Oh, the Highlander bust. Yeah, looked like real crap. I mean, it could have been this one. I need to check the video again, but it could have been this one, maybe. But I was told that those are the cheap ones that he's not really using. Maybe he just pretends to use these brushes and then he uses others to not give away secrets. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, freehand. I just want to look at a picture. For these tactical arrows, or that assign them to tactical squad. Okay, it seems pretty straightforward. Just need to find the middle and then go for it. I use synthetics when I'm using oils in the miniature. Shame about Pitting Buddha. I wanted to get this video serious on it, but Ben's partner on the wall just before I went to get it. And they're still on Vimeo. Okay. But don't you have to, well, okay, interesting. You have to pay for Vimeo to keep the content up there. So if you stop paying, they should be going away. Okay, good timing. Right, so I just need to find the middle, or I just want to find the middle. That should be the middle. Roughly, at least from my, no, actually it's not. And of course I'm using the Winsor & Newton brush, that's why it's a bit weird. Because I'm always trying to do the minimum, or divide the shapes into lines. In this case, an arrow has basically two lines, a middle line, and the one that makes up the underside of the arrowhead. So I'm just going to, I'm putting that in and make sure that they have the same length, in this case, of the lower edge of the arrowhead, and the middle line, obviously I want to have that right in the middle of the shoulder pad. And that outlines what I want to do with the rest. Nerve wracking watching this part. Yeah, it's not that bad. And just, especially when it's a black freehand, just putting any brighter yellow next to it is just going to increase the contrast, which means it's going to look better. Actually, I think I want to pull that down a bit more. Just going to slowly build that shape. Every time I do Freehands, my nose itches. Would you paint a car Carvadon Space Marine? I have no idea what that is. Oh, they have grey, but they have travel markings all over them. No idea. Benji has many styles. It seems some of the stuff looks like a 10-year-old. Wait, I didn't catch that. Looks like a 10-year-old painted it, and then it looks great. Other times he does one. He does, yeah, but honestly I haven't. It's just that one barbarian type thing that he did with glazes. But obviously if you look at his older stuff, he knows how to do it. I mean, he has been working for companies before that wanted him to paint in a certain style. Hey Jean-Michel, hello back to France. Benji's mental video was a bit weird. When was that? Was that recently? Freehand makes me nervous. Deliberate spider webbing, texture, what? Where's some, do you mean spider webbing in here? I don't know what you mean. I definitely want to do some scratching, but I will probably do that later. So you could obviously already leave out some spaces or some, yeah, just paint some dents in. Maybe we can do that here, for example. But I'm probably going to do everything afterwards, all the scratches and rubbed off paint. Just making sure I'm caught up on chat. Why not paint brown then first? In case you make up, I don't know what you mean. Just don't mess up.
I'm not surprised, motherfucker.
Aquila08, thanks a lot for joining the Major League. Welcome to the community. But you know, you can, I'm not saying everything I do is the way to go. If you have a better approach, then definitely do it. Benji did a video years ago. Oh, hey howdy, how's it going? Benji did a video years ago for miniature mentors and used an airbrush and deliberately made his paints too thin. Had too high a pressure for the paint and made spiderweb. Oh, okay. Okay. The issue with miniature mentors is quite a few of the images they put up for the video aren't what they actually paint. Nice. So I just want to get the edges sharp, so the corners of the arrow. Painting off camera as much as semblance almost today. Okay, that's a bit too wide, I feel. I'm just going to make that sharper. That's the one he does the spyware thing and uses fluorescent green and orange to make a skin tone. Sounds interesting. Don't think I ever saw that. Okay, making sure the width is the same. Yeah, I think that's going to be our rough shape. Just some double checking. I was listening to this while working on my conversion. Nice. Does the miniature guy often sound slightly irritated by the pages to anyone else? He is just irritated in general, I think. I bought some sable brushes from Redgrass Gaming. Same guys I bought a wet palette from. Yeah, I heard about these. Or at least the palettes. I don't know about the brushes. All miniature painters are slightly irritated 100% of the time. The guy's not the actual miniature painter, I think. He's just the interviewer, so to say. In case you were wondering, a bunch of penguin armatures without further work kind of looks like gray poops with legs. Okay, thanks for the info. Some are like dark sword. They also don't finish all images either. It's meant to be more of a technique tutorial thing. Which the miniature mentor stuff? So I'm just not 100% happy with this corner here. Fixing that. Up there, I think it's good. Okay, how does it look from a bit of far, from some distance? Yeah, I think this can still be a bit wider. I almost feel like that was too much. See if we can correct that. Yeah, I also don't like him that much because he has just this weird attitude. Almost feels like he's the one, or he thinks he's the one that knows how everyone has to paint. I find that a bit pretentious. Yeah, definitely not really happy with this side of the arrow. Okay, that's a bit better. I also don't have that much experience with actual markings for the squad, because I usually don't care about it, but I feel like here it's definitely worth it to invest the time. Straightening some lines. Yeah, so the angle makes it look a bit off, the angle I'm filming at. But to me, it looks pretty okay. Do you know if any even figures we can use to paint the... no idea, sorry. An acquaintance of mine did a Penguin series. Hey Robocop. Like Happy Feet. Wait, that wasn't a series. But then again, isn't there like a Happy Feet 2 out already? Yeah, honestly, I'm probably going to at least outline this off cam. The highlighting I can do on cam again, but I just want to be planning that a bit better. So the fist is probably going to be in a video, but not live, or at least not the outlining. But yeah, we can just, let's see, play. Yeah, with the scratches. So I'm going to take out the colors that I used for the shoulder pad. Oh wait, of course I want to highlight the black first, since that is going to be more difficult later. So I'm just going to highlight it the same way that I did highlight the other black parts. Pingu is the best. Yellow looks good, thank you. It was just an experiment. I haven't painted yellow in years. But I feel like the flesh tone shadows and the intensity of the Games Workshop colors really works together pretty good. Why fat glaze when you can thick glaze? Okay, so carefully applying some highlights, trying not to get too close to the edges in order not to distort the shape too much. But just in general, highlighting the upper half, maybe the upper 2/3. At least that's where I'm starting. If a person wants their Primarch who makes it, I don't know what you mean, sorry. Maybe you can rephrase that. Thick glazing is too advanced for you too. Also, I'm dropping frames, I don't know why. I think it's back now. Right, so why am I so much off cam today? Whoa. Okay, that's a bit better. Just adding some more blue, or actually gray in this case. Does Kirill show how he did the hair on that bust? Which one, the Highlander? I actually don't remember. I have it saved here locally, but I have also not really looked at anything else other than the tartan, I think. See you later, Cujo. Thanks for joining. Just working on the transition here. Like I said, it's a bit hard to not distort the shape, but you also, if you don't cover everything, you kind of get these Yeah, darker lines up here, which looks a bit weird. So I'm just going to have to work on that. Good thing is just covering it slightly. It's going to get rid of that line. But obviously we have to be a bit careful. Oh, that was actually darker than I thought. Okay, so I don't want to make it too much in your face. So I guess this is as high as I want to go. You still get the effect of maybe a bit lighter. Do you have anything to compare to? The back of the, or the backpack. We also did that. I think it's about the same amount of highlighting. There's a bit of a chalky finish here that I just want to get rid of quickly. Hey Mark, thank you. How's it going? I have not understood what you mean before, what you meant before with the Primark. So maybe you can rephrase that. Is that a size 1 Raphael? It's a size 0. You can barely see it, but you can. Yeah, it shows actually. I got a number 2 and it's huge, but it has a nice point. Yeah, it's a size 2 is almost. I feel like, especially for that scale, it's almost too large. You can still do it because it has the, like you say, it has a nice tip. But yeah, for 32mm scale, I just downsize my brushes to size 0. I used to work with the size 1, but size 0 is just the sweet spot apparently, or you know, I feel like at least. So now the lights are properly set up. Okay, almost there. Just making sure that everything is covered. So I had a bit of a black line down here. I feel like that looked weird. Yeah, I'll have to try 0. Almost seems like Winsor Newtons run a lot smaller. Yeah, they do. You can say, or you can take one size off of how to word that. So a size 1 Raphael, a size 0 Raphael is the size of a size 1 Winsor Newton. So the Raphaels are one size bigger than the Winsor Newtons. Let's make these tips a bit sharper. That didn't work. I'm kind of shaking today too. Don't know why that is. Can you see that? I don't like that. Okay, that's better. Just quickly doing the same down here. I saw the Imperial Fist Primarch. I wondered if the model is still being made. I think so. I think it's maybe from Forge World. I'm pretty sure it is by Forge World. If it's still made, I can't say, but just go to the Forge World page and look for it. I think it's still made, but I don't know. It's not like I know the catalog by heart. Sorry. I'll see you later, Howdy. Okay, it feels like we spent a lot of time for this already, or on this. You're welcome, Mark. Too much yellow? How do you mean? Right, so now let's do the scratching and also probably the outlining. So I think this is the color where I'm at. I still need to highlight it a tiny bit. Just took a random brush, okay. Okay, I think we are still at the Imperial yellow with this one. Haven't quite done the last highlights yet. Yeah, that's making the lines sharper. It's gonna be a bit tricky down here. But like I said, I definitely want to do that outline. Because it's a nice effect. I've got some hair here. Right, so now I'm going to work on these scratches that we already have on the backpack here. I got my ears for the Sylvanas. Oh, okay, great. She looks pretty rad. At this intimidating to paint her. Don't be scared. It's not like in this scale you can totally repaint some areas without any problems really. I'm sure you're going to do well on her. Should be more blue. Ah yeah, thanks, thank you. Looking good, man. Okay, so let's just dent this up a bit. Kind of randomly make some random shapes. Don't want to overdo it, but dent here and there. And then maybe one line. Just need to find a bit of an angle that looks good. So I guess. Like that. Yeah, so just starting really thin on the inside, and then as we move outwards, you can scratch it up a bit more, or make the scratch wider, definitely. And I'm just trying to, yeah, paint it in the same color as the outside here, so it just feels like it just rubbed off or got chipped. And the lower color is just coming out. Can do the same down here, but I want it a bit darker. Like that. Just a bit of a dot. Adjusting the colors. Still not dark enough. And when doing scratches, I always kind of want to make sure that, or chips, yeah, that the edges are sharp, because if they look too washed out, then it just doesn't look like a chip really. Again, not wanting to overdo it. Can probably get away with one more line here. Let's see, tone it down. Yeah, I think that's enough. Just enough to make it look a bit abused and but still intact. Okay, yeah, I think that's enough process. Chat has slowed down a bit, so maybe it's a good time to stop. Don't forget that I'm going to stream every Monday from now on, same time, for 4 hours. I'm stopping at 3 today, just to get, you know, because I like I said, I want to do this freehand off cam, at least the start of it. Yeah, because it was already a bit tough to do all the right angles and sharp lines and all that on the base shape while chatting and so on. So I'm just going to do, like I said, the base shape off cam, and then for the next stream I'm going to be detailing that fist that I have prepared. And yeah, that's almost the last step that I want to do. Once we have that freehand, only the eyes need to still be done, so I'm keeping that for the next stream. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the follow button. Subscribing on Twitch, by the way, gives you access to a PDF nowadays, one PDF every month. You can support me on Patreon. $1 goes a long way. But if you want the PDFs, all the PDFs, you can do the $5 pledge. You can also do $10 for all the video tutorials, all the edited high-end video tutorials, maximized for, yeah, learning everything that I show you. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll be back at the latest next Monday. So bye bye.